All right. How is everybody? Good. It's June. Isn't that wild? Like, think about it. We've just finished Q2. Some of you are looking at me going like, Q2 is not over yet. June 30th is Q2. But let's think about it. How many of you are going to put a deal under the month of June, deal under contract that's not yet under contract, and it closed this month? Some of you might, right? There's a chance, right, that we find a cash deal and it closed this month. And yet the likelihood of it is slim, right? So your Q2 is already in the books, right? We've already closed out Q2 with a rare exception. So check in with yourself. Where are you at? Are you 50% of your way to your goal for the year? Are you behind? Are you ahead? Right? It's time to reevaluate. What actions are you taking? Do you need to up the actions? Do we need to change the actions? Are we ahead of goal? Do we want to change the goal? That doesn't mean the goal decreases, right? But if we're targeting ahead of the goal, maybe we increase the goal. How are you all feeling in the market right now? Feeling good? Bad? Indifferent? This isn't just Andrew talking. Good and bad? No, I don't want that. I don't want that. Cindy.
So I'm almost out of signs.
Okay.
So, and yeah, I have lock boxes, but I'm almost out of signs. Okay, which is a good thing. We've had to take a couple, but things are sitting. We have more listings that maybe not be priced right. You need to make sure if you're in Matrix and Triad, go to InfraSparks under Alamance County, and I just shared with this table. We're at a 1.8 month supply of inventory. Over 400,000 is 3 months supply. We are at now our average days on market is 15, and our average sales price is 295. So think about all that. You know, it used to be when it was higher, it was like 325.
So our price is decreasing. I wouldn't say prices themselves on a specific home is not going down. The price of properties being listed is going down, right?
Like there's some smaller houses. We
Yeah.
have more between 100 and 300 now.
We're getting some lower price inventory hitting the market, right? I am not a master of this market yet. I will. Y'all you gave me 30 days. I'm not there yet, right? I don't know your stats yet. And what I do know is as a brokerage in May, you all have one of the best months in over 12 months. You all had one of the best closing months in a long time, with the least amount of agents we've had in a long time. So congrats to you. That's you. That's you showing up. That's you putting in the work. For those of you that have taken advantage of the profit sharing system, we profit shared over $24,000 in the month of May. Year to date, that's 39,000. 24,000 of that happened in the month of May. Right. So kudos to you. You're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort. You as associates have earned that. So keep that up, keep pushing forward, keep doing what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, let's have a conversation, right? There's opportunity for you to grow and show up differently. If you're not hitting your goals, right? If you're behind right now, you're not 50% of the way on goal and pinned it and closed year to date, then let's have a conversation, right? If not with me, let's have a conversation with Karen and the PC team, right? What can we do to help you continue to grow your business and show up? If that's it, we need to put certain classes on the calendar, let's do it, right? I met with, in the month of May, we'll talk about more of this in 2 weeks in the team meeting. In the month of May, I met with over 35 agents in the office. Many of you are in this room. And I got a lot of great feedback. So I want you to know that though you might not be seeing changes right now, changes are happening. And you're going to see some dramatic things happen over the next 30 days. And in the next 7 months, you're going to get most of what you've asked for, right? You've asked for more value. You've asked for more things to show up on the calendar for you and your production level. You've asked to be paid faster. You've asked for various things. We're doing things and efforts. You've asked for compliance to be reviewed quicker, right? We're working on all that. It can't happen overnight, right? We have to put systems in place. We have to change some of the tools we're using. One of the things we did last week is we went and joined with a new bank as a new banking partner. It's not that our old bank needed to be thrown out the window, right? But there were some things that there were limitations. And so we went to a new banking partner. We're transitioning to them right now. You'll get an email later this week asking for updated ACH information because we want to make sure we have the right account on file, that we pay you quickly and in a timely manner. So we're changing some things. This is part of growth, right? This is part of us making sure we take care of you at a really high level. And so we've done that. So I want you to know what you've said hasn't fallen on deaf ears. If I haven't had a chance to meet with you, I would love to get to know you more and understand where you're at, right? I'm committed to bringing more value to you as agents and showing up in a different way than maybe we have in the past, good and or indifferent or bad, right? We're going to grow and we're going to grow your businesses first. That's the goal. So I say all that to say briefly today, the next team meeting, the second team meeting of the month is going to pivot a little bit. It's going to be a team meeting every month that comes from celebration first, and then value second. And so whether that's me presenting something, bringing someone into presenting something, interviewing a top agent about what they're doing in the market, right, to provide value in that team meeting in a different way than you might have seen in the past. The team meeting this month, June 18th, so 2 weeks from today, will all be about what I learned in those meetings with agents in the month of May. And so I'll be laying out the vision of where we're going by the end of the year. So you'll get some real examples of what we're doing and what's changing and what's coming to the calendar and how we need your help to get there. So you'll see that in the second team meeting of the month. Enough about, bless you. Enough about getting into the meeting. Let's jump right in. We're going to pull on some of our MVVBP today, not all of it. This is what drives our value. And I don't know if you all know the history of this. I don't think I've shared it in this room before. This used to end at lives worth living. Right? Just until a few years ago, it was to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living. Is that great? Yeah, right? That's a really awesome thing. It's a life worth living. I was talking to an agent earlier today, and it's like, okay, well, what about when I live the life worth living? I've arrived, right? I'm living the life I want. I get to work when I want. I get to do what I want, but there's something missing, right? It's what does it look like to then give experiences and ultimately leave a legacy, right? We're not promised tomorrow. What are we leaving behind when we're gone, right? This is what drives our vision. This is what drives what we do every day as a leadership team to support you as agents, to make sure that you can fulfill this for yourself, not just us as a market center. Let's jump into our values. Anybody want to give it a shot? Anybody want to stand up and give us the Y4C2Ts in order? You don't have to. We can just do it together. We'll do it together this month. And by do it together, what I mean is I'm not going to read through all these today. I want 3 of you in the room to pick one that's important to you and tell us why. Tammy.
Because I feel like if you cannot trust someone, you really can't move forward.
Yeah.
How can you always be looking over your shoulder? And I want to be an agent that my clients trust me, buyers and sellers, and I always speak the truth to them. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to find out the answer for them, but I want them to be honest with me as well.
I love it. Yeah. Trust starts with honesty. Yes. Karen.
Integrity. Integrity is important to me because it's in all things that I do. Some of you know very well, what you see is what you get, not pretending to be somebody that I'm not, and very transparent. I always do the right thing, and I'm able to lay my head down at night and sleep well.
I love it.
She's
I love
not as scary as she looks.
it.
Yes, she is.
I love it.
She is.
Cindy.
Communication first to understand. don't assume things, need to ask better questions. And kind of do that. That's been my biggest
You
thing.
can talk louder now.
Margaret can't hear you in the back. Yeah, I can repeat it. Cindy said, communication, seek first, understand, right? It's sometimes we don't always understand what's going on and we need to ask better questions, right? It's asking questions to understand what's happening, what's going on, what could we do? Yep.
It's in our world versus their world.
Yep.
So you need to make sure you balance.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot recently about perception is reality, right? Versus what is actually happening, right? Unfortunately, perception is the reality, yet it might not be the true reality. So communication, asking good questions first, we can understand what is the real actual reality of what's happening. Sure. Thank you all for sharing those. Some months will, who knows what'll happen. I might make you all get up and dance to the values one month or our beliefs. Ultimately, our goal is to be the place where entrepreneurs thrive. Do you all believe you're entrepreneurs? You really believe that?
Yes.
Really? Gosh, that's weak. Are you all entrepreneurs? Yes. Right. You all have businesses, whether you realize that or not. Some of you maybe just think this is a job that you get to show up every day and occasionally collect a check. Right. But you all own a business. And I hope you realize that because you owe taxes. I'm not paying those on your behalf. I have my own to take care of. Let's jump into some bucket fills. This is in the room. Let's fill some buckets. Tammy.
I'd like to thank Chris Young and Kim for helping me out last week. Kim went and showed a house for me while I was on vacation. We were able to go off and we didn't win it, but I appreciate her so
Okay.
much, and I appreciate Chris. Had to go to a house and look some papers up in the seller that was out of town, so I really
Love it.
appreciate you. very,
Awesome.
very much.
Awesome. While Tammy and David got to live their life worth living at the beach.
I want to thank all of you guys for being patient with the bank last week. We had several people that didn't get paid. Anyway, we got it all sorted out, but apologize for that. But thank you guys for being patient. I think I called probably half this room. Letting you know to come pick your check up because the ACH just didn't go through. So thank you guys for your patience as we transition
Yep.
away from danger and towards world waters.
Tammy.
I'm not gonna tell Mary because she's having to deal with all that.
Yep. Yep. For sure. Sarah.
Mine is for the leadership in the work that they do every day.
Hmm.
I don't know how y'all continue to work for the time and experience.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate that. For that, Shay.
So I would like to bucket fill actually, our, oh goodness. I'll start with Anthony. I wanted to just say thank you for him for coming to the new agents and asking if we wanted to do an open house on one of his openings, like weeks before, giving us that time to, actually prepare and also go check it out. And for our coaching team, they took us on a field trip this morning, and I think that was the biggest value so far that I've gotten because hands-on for me is so important.
Love that.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mandolin. Thank you, Karen.
Yep.
What was the deal?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, thank you, Mike, because he taught us how to measure
Measure
out
out.
today.
Good.
And we had to do it outside in the sun, and there were like trees and bugs, and we were all girls, and we were all like, but Mike was so patient with us, because we didn't know what we were doing.
Wait till they make you crawl in a crawl space.
I made that very clear this morning. I don't do the crawl space. That's not.
Somebody can pay it.
Oh.
That was very helpful. as
Love it.
The coaching team, that they did that for us today.
Love it. Love it. That's awesome. I heard good feedback this morning too. So,
It wasn't just a regular property. It had a lot of unique things with it. So.
hey, those are amazing things. So just, I don't know why I heard you say boiler room. If you all have not used, Robbie and I were talking about this on the way down to the training room. I promise, get the class on the calendar. In ChatGPT, you can actually take a picture of something and upload it, and it'll help identify the picture. So I have an agent friend of mine in Asheville. He took a picture of an old boiler. He didn't know what it was. and it was an old boiler, and asked ChatGPT to identify it, and it told him it was a boiler. And underneath the boiler pipe, there was a bucket sitting with a rag on the edge of it. And in the ChatGPT response, it said, also notice the bucket might be there to catch drips. There could be a leak with the boiler. You would want to have this inspected. Now, does ChatGPT replace a home inspector? No. Yet, right? Like if you walk into a house and you don't know what something is, because you're going to encounter something. At some point in your career, if you haven't encountered it already, you will encounter something that you're like, what is this? Right? There are tools out there. ChatGPT is just one of them. And not only did it identify it was a boiler, it identified that there could be a problem with the boiler. I just thought that was impressive. So, yes, Cindy.
Oh, I was gonna tell you, so also when you're looking at things, when you're talking about that, I'm not doing bucket fill, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But agents were texting me pictures of items or pipes in ground, right? Like, oh, is this under UST, underground storage tank? Well, it was an old antenna, but we were able to identify. So I was thankful that they actually were sending me pictures of what they were asking about, and we got them all solved, and it was not an underground storage tank. So
I love it. Nope, you don't. It's true. I love it. I love it. Sarah.
That sounds incredible, but you also better be ready to like establish your values separately from what the computer can do, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so true. So true. Right? We're not replacing ourselves with ChatGPT, right? And yet it is a tool as a resource, right, that we can have in our back pocket to help us. For sure. For sure. For sure. We had 3 new agents join us in the month of May. Katrina in the room in the back. Allison Lassiter and Tasha McGee all joined us in the month of May. So, all right, let's jump into some of the things happening. I think I said this at the beginning, the first of the month team meeting is going to be a little more focused on what's coming, right? What's happening this month, and BIC updates, things like that. There's a 1031 exchange class. This is virtual. This is with, or sorry, it's not only virtual, right? It is only virtual. Sorry. That is tomorrow at noon with Heritage Title and is there someone joining them on that? Never mind. I'm confusing things in my head. There are so many events on the calendar that I've seen come across my email. So this is tomorrow. They're going to talk about 1031 exchanges. 201 Plus Club. How many people know what the 201 Plus Club is? Okay, well, you're going to find out more about it here in just a minute from Daniel. Tomorrow is 201 Plus Day. There will be a class at the same time as the Heritage Title one, but this will be streamed into this room tomorrow at noon. It won't be available digitally because we're streaming into the room. Sydney Seymour, our regional tech trainer. How many of you know who Sydney is? Sydney's a phenomenal trainer. She'll be spending an hour with us tomorrow at noon with all the market centers across the region in efforts to get people's databases into command. Whether you think your database is in command or not, you should show up to this 1 hour. I've had people show up that said, oh, I had everybody in my database. They're all in there. They added 4,000 people to their database, right? Like there is opportunity, right? There could be people in your phone that you don't realize are not in your database that you're not touching on a regular basis because you don't have them on a smart plan. There's opportunity there. Show up. They're going to talk about that tomorrow. Daniel's going to talk about more about why that's important here shortly. Wednesdays at 1, Weekly Tech with Daniel. I'm going to move really quick through some of these. It's not that they don't matter. It's just that you know about them because they happen regularly. KW Cornhole, Thursday night, 6 to 9 here in the training center. In-person CE. This is coming up this week. It's $50 per class. There's more information where? Aisha's teaching these classes. edify-re.com. You can find more info. We'll also post this in the Facebook page so that you can find it if you don't remember. But this starts Thursday this week. And I believe many of these are available in person in the Market Center. She's using our training center. So $50 per class. If you haven't done your CE yet, you only have a handful of days left to finish that CE. I'm one of those people. So we'll be all right. How many of you came to the first open house that Gary Keller did about the NAR settlement? How many of you tuned into that? Some of you did. I see some hands. That was an amazing hour of content. They're doing an update on Monday. We'll be streaming it into the training room at noon. You can also access it from home. This is valuable. Be there. Many of you have asked what's happening, right? There's this looming date of August 17th. What's going to happen? What's the judge going to say? What's going to change? What documents are going to happen? We don't fully know yet, right? Right now we're functioning business as usual. Go prove your value, right? Show your value, go fill out the proper documents, make sure you're representing your clients the way you should be in the state of North Carolina, and show up to this as they talk about the continuing conversation with an update. There will be a link in the Facebook group. We'll put it in email. We'll send out a special email. Corporate should be sending out an email. You're getting all kinds of communication about this event. It's Monday at noon. I would be there. Karen is teaching the next personal perspective next week on Tuesday. Make being learning based the foundation of your action plan. This is part of the 6 personal perspective. It's the 4th one in order. If you haven't made it to the first 3, that's okay. Come to the 4th one. You don't have to have been at them all. I guarantee you'll walk away from this hour with something to help you grow your business. Career night is also next Tuesday in the evening. How many of you ever invited someone to a career night? Good, nice. I love that. There's one next week. This is an opportunity for them to get into K-Score, which is our real estate school partnership with Kaplan, where they can go to real estate school at no cost to them. It's not free. We don't use the word free because it's not. Someone's paying for it. It's just that they don't have to pay for it. So we provide them with a scholarship to go at no cost to them. That's an opportunity for them to learn more about that and what it looks like to be in real estate. That is Tuesday, June 11th here in the training room. It's also available via Zoom. Connect with Daniel or Rivers if you want to send someone to get into career night so they can be expecting them. PB&J with Jason. No meeting on the 11th next week. Join them on the 25th. That's virtually. That is for provisional brokers. It's required for you. If you're a full broker, you can still come. I guarantee you'll learn something. It goes back to that personal perspective we're jumping into next week. Be learning based, right? Just because you're a full broker doesn't mean you can't continue to learn from the PB&J classes. And they could maybe learn from you too. Wind down Wednesday. This is the last Wednesday of the month. There was a good group of 7 or 8 of you last week. I would happen to still be in the office when it was happening, and it was a good time. There were lots of laughs happening down the hallway. Just an opportunity for you to connect and hang out over just some lighthearted fun and celebrate each other and the month and connect. If you haven't done your CE yet, you have a few days left. There is a discount code on the CE shop using JUN30. We're going to move through corporate events really quick. Mega Agent Camp coming up August 12th to 15th in Austin, Texas. There's still plenty of tickets. This is the last year it'll be in Austin for 4 years. So they're redoing the Austin Convention Center for KW because we've outgrown it and we are a big client of theirs. We're one of their biggest events they have every year. So they're redoing the convention center to be closed for 3 years. So this is the last year it'll be in Austin. It'll be going to, I believe, Dallas for 2025. They have not released 26 or 27 yet. They're going to move it around Texas. MREA podcast. Again, this is every Monday it's released. Phenomenal content there. How many of you have a profit and loss statement? There's no shame if you don't. Profit and loss is important. Why is a profit and loss important for your business? We know our numbers. Why is it important to know our numbers, Mike?
I don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going.
Okay, right? We don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. Why else is it important? What was it? We lead with profit, right? We lead with revenue, right? We have to be making money to spend money, right? If you're putting your business on your credit card, we need to have a conversation.
It's also that monthly look, so you can look at your expenses if you need to reduce them.
Yep.
Look at the expenses.
Yeah, we're checking in every month, right? Am I overspending, underspending? Am I spending where am I spending money on marketing and lead generation? And am I getting a return on investment, right? If I'm sending out 1,000 mailers every month, but I haven't gotten a single lead from a mailer, what do I need to do? we got to change something, right? I'm either going to stop sending mailers altogether because I'm not good at it and I don't want to be good at it. Or I've got to change the market I'm sending them to, or I need to change the content I'm putting in it. Right? I've got to change something. Right? That's a lot of money we're spending, but if we're not tracking it and looking at that on a monthly basis, what could happen? I could be overspending, or I could be spending a lot of money in an area that isn't benefiting me. Right? For many of us in the current market, what would an extra $600 a month do for you? $600 a month. That should be an impact, right? If $600 a month and 1,000 postcards isn't working for you, can I go spend $600 a month on an event at a local school and maybe reap more benefit? Possibly, right? It's changed the way we look at things, and the things we look at change, right? That's why a profit and loss statement is important. It's important to know our numbers. This class is a steal for $99. This class is worth over 1,000. You'll save $99 on your taxes next year just by going to this class.
She is so good. I've taken it twice.
Jeannie's the wizard. Jump in there. Value squared, we're looking to identify a trainer to bring this to the market center. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's virtual. You don't have to, you used to have to travel to Austin for this class pre-COVID, and it was $299 plus travel, lodging, food, right? You can take it from home for $99.
She has some great worksheets. You'll love it.
Yeah, it's a 3-hour class. So you can still lead gen that morning. You can still go on a listing appointment that night and not have to get on a plane for $99. Yo, we spend more than that on a nice dinner. I heard someone say, I don't. That's okay. And we want you to get to the life where if that's what you want to do, you can, right? You don't have to. Yeah, that goes back to that life worth living, right? Some of us, not everybody necessarily wants to do that. I was talking to someone earlier. They said, I just want my 59-cent burrito. That's great, right? I want more than a 59-cent burrito. I'm sorry, that's just me. We're working on identifying an instructor to bring value squared in person to the market center. Like a Linda McKissick, for those of you that know who that is. Cindy's like, whoa, that's a big deal, y'all. Yeah.
That code, it goes for a login, saying we need to log into KW.
Yep. Yeah. So this is all housed behind your login information. So you can access all of Value Squared content by going into your command account. And in the top bar, there's command and connect. Click on connect. All of the playbooks are there along with all the Value Squared content. Yep. You can find all that on that connect page for sure. How many of you are either under 28 or you have a child that's between 18 and 28 or a grandchild? Or 3 times 28? So if you can do this, y'all, Quantum Leap in person, there's still tickets. It's June 20th to 22nd in Austin, Texas. It's $600. This is a gift you could give away. Gary teaches this in person live. Like, this is an opportunity to change a child's life. It's not about real estate, y'all. This is about their mindset and who they are and how they approach life. Phenomenal opportunity. Phenomenal. I'm gonna jump past that. All right, PC program. Karen, you up.
So, may have already covered it. I'm laughing, but I'm doing.
There might be people on Zoom. We're gonna give the Zoom people a.
So welcome to Tasha McGee, just joined, and the coaching program, and also Katrina Roush. We're
Love it.
excited to have you. Can't wait to watch your businesses flourish.
Love it. And watch for more from the coaching program. They're planning some big stuff, y'all. If you know anybody that needs to be in there, like more field trips, right? Go crawl in some crawl spaces. The crawl space is big enough, I'll go in it with you, but it's got to be big enough. If I could stand up in it. Mary, any updates on your front?
You guys just had an amazing month. Y'all closed more units and it was, and the 24,000+ in profit share that's gonna be given back to the agents in the office. You guys can be very proud of yourself. It was an extremely busy month. Spring market is hit. Y'all keep it up. Keep sending in the closings, get your guys paid quicker. He's gonna be sending out some information on your ACH information. We'll get that in the new bank and hopefully the turnaround time is gonna be much faster on that.
Love it. Thank you, Mary. Mary's been putting in a lot of work, y'all. The month of May was a lot. So let's celebrate and before you start clapping, let's celebrate the last transmittal ever. So I talked about it briefly at the last team meeting. There's this program called Win More that was built in the 1980s. It's 40 years old, y'all. And they've been talking about getting rid of this program for over 2 decades. The person that created it for KW died over a decade ago. He's the only person that knew how to code it. He taught 3 people how to use it. Those 3 people were the only lifelines. When something broke, we had to call one of those 3 people to come fix it. And so we've been in this long journey of 15+ years of deprecating Winmore. And it had to go away. Every month, we have a server local that all that information is housed on, and twice a month that information got uploaded to corporate and synced, and that's what created all the reports that you get and all the tools we have. Right, we have all of that because of this program called Winmore, but it has been the death of many MCAs. Many of them lay down to bed at night and they twitch when they go tab, 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 enter, tab. Right, like there's this sequence of alt arrow down. There's this sequence of keystrokes they have to do on a keyboard every time you have a closing. Right? It's not as simple as us saying, you did a commission request, here comes the check. Oh, the check matches, great, here's your check, done. Like each closing takes anywhere, total time, 30 minutes to 60 minutes because of the system. Now we can get faster with some of those, right? This is why it can be troubling at times, right? Now, we've gotten faster with that. We've gotten systems like Command help slow that time or decrease the amount of time it takes. Winmore was deprecated for us when Mary transmitted yesterday. So Winmore is no more in this market center. We're now functioning out of Cloudmore. And you all might not think that's that big of a deal because you don't see it every day. Yet, this is going to allow us to pay you faster in a more timely manner as long as you do your part, right? When do files need to be submitted for compliance? ASAP, right? As soon as possible. We're working to review them faster, right? And get caught up on that. We're a little behind. Thank you for your patience in that. We're working on getting those caught up so that we're always caught up, right? Get your compliance in and get it done. Get your commission requests done soon, as in as soon as possible. It doesn't mean you have to do it as soon as it goes under contract. Some of you, that's your process. That's great. But as soon as you get through your due diligence window, submit it. Odds are you're going to have limited changes after that point in time. If we can get that DA created, it gets you paid faster the day of closing. Right? So we're taking all these things, we're moving forward with them. The new rule is going to be if your check is in by noon. So check's in by noon, your file's clear, your DA is up or your Alta is uploaded. That check's going to be processed that day. It'll leave our bank that day. And as long as your bank is one of the ones that plays nice, it'll go into your bank account the next business day. Right? Occasionally, it might take 2 days. If you bank with Wells Fargo, I'm sorry, it could take 3. Some of the banks are just slower at receiving money. But know that the bank partner we're partnering with is committed to getting it out the same day. Check in by noon, process the same day. You should receive payment the following business day.
We just need to finish up this replication
So-
period.
yeah.
It's on June 10th.
So what's happening with that, to Mary's point, is this transition is happening right now, right? So bear with us over the next week. We're writing paper checks right now because we want to make sure you get paid quickly, right? We had some issues, ACHs went missing, nothing happened to the money, it's all accounted for and everybody's gotten paid. Yet, just know that we're working through it. We see you, we hear you, and our most important thing, Mary's one thing every day is to make sure that you get paid. And we want to honor that as long as you've done your part, right? So commit to doing your part. We'll commit to doing ours. We're going to get you paid. Replication is happening right now. They're taking all of our data out of Winmore. They're putting it into Cloudmore. We'll go live in that system next Monday, and things should start to run smoother and smoother. Bear with us while we learn through that. Yet our commitment is still to get you paid as quickly as possible. Any questions over that? Beth. Okay. Yeah. I am a bold coach, but does not exist in my vocabulary. Mike.
So the 3 days is not a Keller Williams rule. That is a state statute that you have your contracts into the market center within 3 days.
There you go. Look, I see. I don't speak in North Carolina state law because I don't know it. So 3 days. Why 3 days, y'all? So here's the thing. If you go out and write a contract and Jason gets a phone call about it, what does Jason need to be able to do? He's got to be able to find it, right? Because he's accountable for everything we all do, just as you're accountable. So we do need it as quickly as possible, not the commission request. We need the commission request soon. We need your documents ASAP. All right, I'm going to give it to Daniel for some tech updates.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I have to use this. Yes. Hi. That thing that I do here. Yes, go on. I can. Yeah, so the tech call that we do every Wednesday at 1 is pretty much just dealer's choice. Whatever you guys want to talk about, come on in, we'll talk about. So I'm trying to get just the right distance. This is like maybe here. Here's good. Maybe. Okay. All right. So just real quick, I wanted to remind everybody to keep using the KWIQ. The KWIQ is the little green button in the bottom of command whenever you start it up. Just start asking stupid questions. Ask it for everything. It's not going to give you stuff most of the time, but the developers working on it will see, oh, there's actually a really great question that somebody probably thought was a stupid question. And we'll train it how to do that. So the more you use it, the more it works. But you got to use it for it to work. That's programming. AI stuff works that way. Now, tomorrow, who knows what the 201 Club is? Awesome, awesome. For those of you that do not, Keller Williams did a bunch of number crunching and comparisons and all fun, all kinds of fun stuff. And what they found was that if you have 201 to 1,000 contacts in your phone or in command, you average about $120,000. They have a very specific 119,510, but we'll just round it to 120. Now, the contacts in and of themselves, of course, that's not going to bring you $120,000 a year. But at the same time, that's going to be the first step. You see, if you're doing less than that, you're getting less than that. If you're doing more than that, you're getting more than that. You see how it's got that really sharp uptick at the 201 contacts. So we strongly encourage you to get 201 contacts. KW feels it's so important that even your phone app, which doesn't have a lot of different things in it, gives you a little circle around your picture with 201 Club if you have over 201 contacts in command. And I'd love to actually see if somebody had like 200, if it's exactly like as soon as you hit 201, it switches your profile picture out. It'd be pretty cool. So once you have the 201, it's simple, not easy. I think that's pretty much the very common mantra with this. First and foremost, you need to get the 201 contacts plus in command. Lots of different exercises for it. There's bold exercises for it. There's your social media. There's all kinds of fun ways to get contacts. But tomorrow's class is going to be about getting those contacts in there. Once you get the contacts in, you have to make sure that it's good information. Do you have their latest phone number? Do you have their latest address? Do you have all that information, or is it literally just somebody's name? If you just have somebody's name in there, you can't really contact them. Doesn't count towards your 201. And then you need to be staying in contact with them. Command, by putting them in command, it makes it a whole lot easier that you can automate this process using smart plans and such. We have the 36 touch. So you just put that in there, customize your information, and as your contacts are added, you just add them to that 36 touch plan and you're up and running. And then, of course, you need to be staying in contact with them. So command can be telling you, hey, you need to call, Frank or whoever it may be. You can have the reminders of your DYD 2468. Who do we appreciate? It's funner if you add more letters to it. And then, of course, it's also going to be doing on your behalf, emailing and texting. And then also, and most importantly, remember that it very much is progress, not perfection. If you just sit there and you're like, oh man, I can't get my everything just right, and just start putting it in, work on the details. As you get everything in there, everything will come together for you. So tomorrow, come out here, right here, 12 o'clock. Stick around. We'll go straight into my tech class afterwards, which I have a feeling will probably be something related to this. But again, dealer's choice, whatever you guys want to talk about.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniel. Is it back on? Yeah, there we go. I'm not your broker in charge. Your broker in charge is in Raleigh today. So he's given us a few things to quickly make sure we're in tune with. You have 6 days to finish your CE. Does everybody in this room finish CE? Hopefully that's a yes. Everybody say yes. If you haven't, nobody heard you. There's no shame in that. Go finish it. You got 6 days. MLS choice for those of you in the triangle MLS. Today is your last day to make your selection of which MLS, whether it is it Paragon or Flex or Metrics. So you have 3 options. If you have questions about that, see, not me. Does anybody have answers on that? If someone needs help with that, Karen can help you. Karen or Mike can help you if you have questions on that before you leave today. June 30th. I love that, Cindy. Your North Carolina light renewal is due, which also includes any firms you may have licenses for. So if you have a firm license, don't forget about that. Just because you did your CE doesn't mean you actually did your renewal. It's 2 parts, right? You got to do both pieces. Thank you to RPAC. You don't have to pay the $50 privilege license anymore due to RPAC donations and efforts. So thank you. $50 back in your bank account. Baycar is doing a Habitat for Humanity sign up. They're doing some builds on June 8th, 13th, 15th, 21st, and 22nd. So there's some opportunity if you want to jump into a Habitat build. Baycar is doing that. So yep, I got you. I see the phones for those taking photos. Keep going. Almost. And yeah. All right, I'm almost to Union Home. You next. Quick question. And I've talked to many of you. And I want you to think about it, and you don't have to give me answers right now. I want to know, what do you want to see on the training calendar? Right. So what are things that you want to see show up on the training calendar that currently aren't there? Right. You know the things that consistently show up. What are the things you're looking for? Anybody want to toss some things out real quick? Overcoming objections. Okay. So objection handling. Love that. We can work on that. I've got an idea for that one. Talk to me about that, Mike. What else? How to work with appraisers. Okay. Can someone write these down for me? Daniel, can you? Rivers has got me. Okay. What else?
Buyer consultation.
Buyer consultation, love it. Yes. Yes.
Go on and on.
Actually, give me what kind of.
Various, loan, packages that are out there. Maybe, at one time, we had a lot of things that were available to people like nurses and,
Okay.
policemen, firemen, teachers.
Yep.
Yeah, teachers.
So loan products, like the Heroes programs, things like that. Union Home can help us with some of that. Yep,
Incentives, especially.
Yep. love that. Love that. Loan products. Yep, I got some ideas around that. See me. Yes, Chris. Oh,
I sent that back.
oh, I love that. Yeah,
In a professional manner.
yeah, that's,
Is not complete.
yeah.
It's called fill out. I mean.
Yeah, so, no, I get it, Chris. I don't know that there's a class for that. Yeah, there's some etiquette and standards there. And we could probably put something around or a document out about etiquette and standards for sure. Sure, yeah. So one of the things I did, I know we're not as in many multiple offer situations as I used to, but how many of you have been in a multiple offer situation where one offer, though it might not have been the best financial offer, was the cleanest offer, meaning it was the most complete? Right? We've all seen that, right? Where there's the one offer that just stands out because it's like, they paid attention to detail here, right? It's done correctly. Whether you realize it or not, right? Like that's something you should be pointing out to your client as you're helping them go through the offers. Even if it's not the best financial offer, that is a point of note to say, I just want you to recognize this agent over here, their offer is going to net you $5,000 less, yet they paid attention to detail and did everything correctly. That bodes well for the transaction going more smoothly, right?
As well. I always
Yeah.
recognize, thank you for sending us a nicely written offer.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's huge, y'all. I've had people win in a multiple offer situation because their contract was complete. I've won for buyers because my package was complete.
If anything, all things equal, that's what's gonna win.
Yep, for sure. Yes.
I was just gonna say, sometimes, you get multiple offers and you know that person's gonna get a loan and they're offering something that is so ridiculous, they'll never get a loan for that amount, and will they be able to make up $30,000
Sure.
in cash? It seems unrealistic.
Sure. Well, and that's where we do our due diligence, right? Like when I'm in a multiple offer situation, I'm calling every lender. Right? Do you have the right as the listing agent to call the lenders? Yes, you do. Right? They are bound by what they can disclose and not, yet they can tell you how well qualified they are. So this is back when I was selling just probably 2 years ago. I had a listing, I had 5 offers. And there was an offer that was clearly the best, but they didn't have the proper, they didn't have a pre-approval letter, they had a pre-qual. And I called the lender on Friday and said, hey, just want to check in, like they have the best offer, they're going to win, yet I need an update. Like, are they actually approvable? No call back. We were giving it till Sunday at 5 for highest and best. So like I was calling offers as they were coming in. Saturday, I text the lender, no response. This isn't a local lender. This was a South Carolina lender. We're down to 2 offers, right? It's Sunday afternoon. We're deciding between 2 offers. This is still the best offer. And I called the lender and texted them. I left them a voicemail. I said, if I don't hear from you in the next 45 minutes, your clients are losing. Right? They called me back real quick and had all these excuses that they were with family, they were on the lake, they were whatever. I get it, y'all. Yet they almost lost their clients the house. Right? It's important that we call our people, do your due diligence and make sure. It happens to be this lender, again, I'll say this because they're not in this market, was just lazy. They'd had all their documents in for pre-approval for over a week and the lender hadn't sent them a new letter. Right? They almost lost the home they wanted because of a lazy lender. So who you partner with matters. Joe Don.
And our partner members should be our first priority because they're local, we know how they operate, and they don't delay closing.
Yep.
And they're reachable.
And they work when you work.
I love that.
anytime you need 'em.
I love that. Tammy.
I went into a situation with a buyer and an agent was asking for highest and best on a Sunday or a Saturday even, or whatever it is. And maybe their lender, I mean, why do agents do that if, not all buyers have their pre-qual letter right there? You know, and all of a sudden this great house came on, we want to see it make an offer. Why don't agents wait till Monday to do highest and best? Why on a weekend when you might not be able to reach a lender?
I mean,
It's up to the seller.
that's up to the seller too, right? I mean, sure. You know, they could, yet it's also on the buyer's agent to make sure that they're prepped walking into the weekend with the tools they need and the lender partner they need to make sure that they can come up against whatever they're against. So I see it's a double-edged sword, right? You can go either way. Let's be honest, when do most offers just in the market come in? It's on the weekend, right? Like, so pushing it to Monday could make it a little tricky, right? Again, it's who you partner with matters. And now, do we always have control in who our clients pick? No, right? Sometimes we have to deal with a lender that's an online lender, right? Is that what we want to deal with all the time? No. I know, right? We've all dealt with them, right? Whether on the buy side or the sell side, we've all dealt with that lender, right? We know who they are and we never want to see their names again.
There's a difference between dealt with and worked with.
Sure. Yep, we put up with, right? And yet, right, we don't steer, we educate. Right? And when we properly set expectations with our clients on the front end and we educate them, we're going to win more often than not. It doesn't mean I've had the client, right, that picked Quicken every time. Thank goodness they were highly qualified, and Quicken takes really great care of people that are highly qualified.
Who does?
Yet they don't when you're not as qualified. I've had that one too, right? Yet it matters, right? The level of service that we provide matters. Margaret. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's tricky. Yeah, their lender doesn't work on Saturdays. Yeah, that could be a hard money lender situation, right? Where they're acting like they have cash, but they really don't have the actual cash. Yeah, those are tricky. We have to ask good questions, y'all. We have to do the due diligence for our client on our side of the deal. All right, great points. I don't want to belabor that point. It's a perfect opportunity for us to hand it over to our sponsor for today, Union Home. I didn't plan that, y'all. That just happened. There's that, and your slides are in there. Yep.
We've got a little dance and song for you. Don't. You would want it from her, but not.
Julie's the dancer.
Aloha, KW Central from Union Home Mortgage. We're so happy to be sponsoring your team meeting today, and we hope you enjoyed your Aloha meal. And don't forget, there's a cake back there for you guys. So enjoy that. We're going to, and I'll add on to what the discussion that we were just talking about. You've heard us say for many, many years, if you are working, we are working. We mean that. And that's, we make ourselves available all the time, anytime. So, we truly call us, text us, email us if you ever need anything at any point in time, 7 days a week. So I would love to take a picture of you guys, if you don't mind, a fun picture with your little bag.
Yes. Great idea. Turn around with the funny face.
Let me get, let's stay here.
I know.
Picture on here. Yay. Okay.
Oh, that is a,
Oh,
it is a waterproof
For the
cell
pool, the
phone.
beach.
You can put your cell phone down in it
Yes.
and it's completely waterproof.
Take it to the pool.
We saw a video on it. I don't know if that I recommend you doing that. Yeah. I don't know that I would do that, but yeah. Yay, good. Well, we hope you enjoy your goodies. Yes. Yay, wonderful. Well, we're going to go over a few things today. Yay. Perfect. All right. Yeah, well, that'd be perfect for you to take. And we've got you some little sunscreen in there and some candy and other goodies. So enjoy. Have fun with it. We're going to go over. A Union Home Mortgage product highlight. We're going to talk a little bit about temporary and permanent. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, here comes the dog.
He's going to steal our
Oh,
thunder.
Oh,
I see a tail wagging. I can't stand it. Okay, we're going to talk about temporary and permanent rate buy downs, and then we're going to go over a few different programs and give you a rate update and open it up to any questions. So, Lisa?
So I know you've heard it to death, buy downs, buy downs, buy downs. But consider a buy down if you've had a listing that's been on the market, it's become stagnant, you think maybe after 30 days. The cost of the buy down, there is a cost, and the good thing is it can be divided between parties. The seller, the builder, and the borrower can contribute to that buy down. We've given you an example to look at, or this example here is on a price point of $450,000 with 10% down. This is the temporary buy down. It's the 3-2-1 buy down. Current rate today is 6.99. So on that 3-2-1 buy down, we can advertise the rate as 3.99, which is amazing. Facebook and wherever you want to put your advertising out there, we can co-brand it. So that's very attractive for that buyer, and it helps them with their monthly payment. You're far better to do or to consider a buy down versus dropping the price of the home. I mean, you're looking at what, 18.5 for the cost roughly. But just look at that rate and how that helps that buyer with the monthly payment. So the 3-2-1 is wonderful. You have a question?
Real quick, yeah, because it says temporary buy down schedule, so with it being temporary, how long does it last?
Okay, so your first 12 months, you'll have the 3.99. You'll pay that payment on the 3.99. Then your 13 to 24, you're going to pay the 4.99, and then you're going to end up with the 5.99.
Then the last year goes back to 6.
Yes.
Yes,
Then it goes reverse.
it does.
To the
Yes. Yes,
And
it goes back.
hopefully we can even refinance them.
Oh, yeah, if rates were to drop,
Yeah,
yes,
hopefully
we would
within
want to,
the-
yeah, we'd want to refinance it.
Right there.
So-
Is it right there?
Right there.
Yes,
26.91 versus 24.
yes.
30.
So it's a huge monthly difference for that buyer. They're getting their dream home. It's like the concept, buy your dream home and we'll fix the rate later. You know, they can go ahead and get in their dream home, right? We also have the permanent buy down, and that is a permanent right from the beginning. They'll have a lower payment, but you're not getting the biggest bang for your buck is the temporary. Yeah, that's where you can really see the difference.
Lisa, with the permanent, do they bring something to the table for that?
It's the seller.
I mean, the seller.
It's like a seller concession
Right.
for whatever that cost is.
For the permit.
Yes.
So,
Or,
so seller, builder, or
yeah,
buyer.
true, yeah.
And that can, like Lisa said, can be a combination. So let's just say your seller only wants to contribute 10,000. And this example that we're giving you right here is 18,000. You know, the buyer can bring 8,000, you know, so again, kind of talking to us and, you know, looking at every scenario and us
Yeah.
pricing it out.
Every scenario is
Yeah.
different.
we're available to you, and we're a team, you know, it takes a team. And we want to win. We want you to win. So don't, yes. So don't hesitate. Say, Lisa, run these numbers for me. You know, would a buy down help? I'm just trying to be competitive. I've had this house on the market for 30 days and not much traffic. So it's just something to consider. Chris?
Yeah, so you're ready to offer, right? Got to go forward to buy down. How would you write that in there? Like, what does that look like?
Well, we would know how to apply that closing costs towards that.
Yes.
If we were submitting off to other agents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, just closing costs. Yes.
it's still a part of the total closing costs.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's talking from the buyer side, where the buyer lender is not you. That mean, this would be using.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'd have to.
Right, exactly.
The buyer would have to use them.
Yes, because we're offering that.
Right.
Yes,
So that's $18,000.
yes.
Yes.
But,
And-
but
and-
you're talking about a $450,000 home, you know?
And, you know,
So-
399 rate, that saves $760 a month on payment. That's a pretty nice, incentive.
Are you talking through the green graph at the bottom?
Absolutely. So that just takes you down. So some of the slide is not showing.
Yeah.
up here. But part of the slide that's not showing, there's a 3, 2, 1, a 2, 1, and a 1. So you can even do a 1.
Right, so it
buy down.
reduces that cost.
Mhm.
So we can talk it through and say, well, you may not want to do a 3, 2, 1, but just a 2, 1. That's going to cost less money.
Right.
But
And then
still
one or
help
even
'em.
less. But still reduce the rate by, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, 2 point, or 1 point. So with rates right now around 699,
And
you know,
really
599
drop
is
it. Oh, I
attractive.
know.
Even if you do a 1.0. But that, the graph down at the bottom, shows if you do this is an example of the 3, 2, 1. The first year coming down 3 points from 699 is 399. So it shows the principal and interest payment on that $450,000 purchase. The loan amount is 405. It's in the top. So that right there saves, the monthly savings is $760 a month. And then 499 for the next year saves $520 a month. And then 599 for the third year saves $266 a month. And really, we hopefully within the next year, we'll see rates, knock on wood, let me find some,
Yes.
around 5.25 is what we're still hearing being forecasted for like a year. So hopefully we'll be able to refinance them by the time that they get to 599, and then, after 599, it does go to the 699, fixed interest rate.
So is this like 4.4444% of the loan? To get 32 down?
It is, so it's whatever very good question. What's the
Yes.
cost of the buy down? It depends on interest rates that
yeah.
day. So
Right.
the market, we have to pull up and look at what basis points that it would take to buy it down.
The lower the interest, the lower that cost is going to be. So it so depends on the interest rate.
18,562 is what the seller will be.
So that can be a combination of,
Yep.
or the seller. It can be a builder that can build it into the price. It can be a
The
seller
would say,
or a
if
buyer.
you buy this house at this price, we'll pay 18,562, and you'll do the 3, 2, 1 buy down. Because I think that's what y'all were I was confused until I finally got it. Is that what y'all were thinking? So that's what the seller would pay towards the 3, 2, 1 buy down.
And
Yes.
the 3, 2, 1 is how many interest rate
You're going
percentages that you're gonna reduce it. So
So
the
it
3
could be a
is,
2, 1,
right,
and it would be.
And the seller may say, well, I'm not
Minus
covering
2.
over 10.
yeah.
Well, then we got to talk to the buyer.
And you can also use this with your listing appointments. Call us. I mean,
Yes.
this is a great thing to go in and
Yes.
say, hey, I've got a competitive advantage. I work with, our partners at Union Home Mortgage.
The great time is before
Mhm.
you
Listed.
put it,
Yeah.
before it's
For your listing
listed.
appointment. And we have great
Yes.
flyers that are co-branded.
And possibly even build it in the price. That's why you maybe
Mhm.
want to get it in the beginning
Right. Right.
before you list it.
A great competitive advantage.
Add it to the top.
Yes, Tammy.
So, okay, so I'm listening to what Cindy said with you all. So the $18,000 is a fee.
It's
It's
interest
not goes
fee.
towards their principal or anything like that.
No.
That is outside of a fee. So if someone's actually prepaying.
The interest.
Buying the
That's what
rate
they're
down.
doing. That's correct.
399.
Yes.
In this example is the 321, so that's buying it down to that 3.99 interest rate is that 18,000. And that's as of today. So any given day, tomorrow it could be 15,000 for that very same scenario.
Mhm.
That's also a $400,000 house.
Yeah,
$450,000.
yes, yes, 450.
Principal is $400,000.
Yes.
Does the buyer still need to qualify at the rate for today? Yeah.
Yep.
And on the closing disclosure, it's still the 6.99 or whatever, it's the higher interest.
Yes,
rate.
absolutely.
Mortgage
And that's what they
payment
qualify.
That's what we qualify them on.
So how do they know what to pay?
Well, we have loan paperwork
Yeah.
and
Oh,
monthly
yeah.
statements. Yeah.
Yes.
Some of somebody will do that.
Yep, there's an actual,
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
it's a,
in the
it's a
loan
buy down
disclosure,
form. They're,
yeah.
it's fully disclosed. Joe Don, you had a question.
So I think there's a lot of confusion about how do we put this in an offer? Would you be able to craft the pre-approval letter that specifies that so we can present that with the offer? That way we don't have to guess how to word it.
Right.
It's in the pre-qualification letter and just stress to the listing agent, look, this is what we're asking for in the offer, as opposed to reducing the price.
and to simplify things, think of it this way and make sure I'm understanding your ask, but it's just closing costs. So you still have to go by max seller concessions.
And
which
we
Julie
can
will
put
go
that in the
over.
letter. We should be able, we can put that in the letter.
But it's just
Seller
still just closing
concessions.
costs.
Yeah,
It's
it's,
just closing costs. So
seller
you don't
concessions.
necessarily have to say what you're doing with those closing costs unless you want to.
Yeah.
But, it's just closing costs.
And really, that could be an amendment to the contract too, to the offer.
Yeah, if you want your seller to know that they're buying down the rate, if you think that would make them feel better than just
Right.
paying the closing costs for closing costs. Yeah.
But
And then we have our handy lender on call if you have any.
And we can add any verbiage.
Right. Yeah,
Our pre-approval
Yes.
letters are editable. So
Yes.
if you guys ever. Yeah.
editable.
Edit,
you can.
editable.
Is that a word?
You say that.
We got edible arrangements
Edible.
over here.
Edible. Edible.
We're thinking about
Edible.
food. That's
So
funny.
we can add any verbiage that you guys need. We don't have to do the same.
That's hilarious.
So if you did that, because I thought that was a good idea what Joe Don said. However, the rate could change in any given moment. So it would be the seller is willing to do.
Up to X amount of closing.
Exactly.
And we're gonna lock it when we get the contract.
Or
That's why I see what you're saying, but that's why I almost would avoid getting into all of those logistics. I would just, closing costs are closing costs. Bless you.
Right, that's right.
Just.
Yeah.
You could say in the listing that the seller will pay 10,000
I've
for
done
closing
that.
costs or buy down.
Or by, yeah, there you go.
With this lender. or
And then
whatever.
we're gonna take it and do what we need to do with it to make.
Yeah, and it will be it'll be itemized on the
Yeah.
fees worksheet or the loan estimate. All of the closing costs, including that buy down,
Yeah.
is all listed on there together.
And we can show it on the co-brand,
Yeah.
the co-brand advertisement.
10,000 for closing costs to be used, whatever you might.
Right,
Yes.
however,
Which an idea would be to what I down, they don't.
Are
that
the
is.
same maximum seller concessions in place?
That's
Yeah.
Julie.
Next slide.
Julie
Yep.
next.
Yeah, so on this scenario, it's a 10% down, so on a normal conventional 95% loan, it's 3%, but if you're putting 10% down, we can go 6. So this scenario is 6% of 450, like 27,000. So then paying 18 falls underneath of that 6% guideline. So there's a slide that's got all the seller concessions on it.
Sorry, I have so many questions.
No.
Are you able to use it on a non-primary person?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
and we can even use it on construction loans.
yes.
great thing to use with builders, really great thing to use with builders. Because a lot of builders are able to, like we said, work that into their purchase price and stuff
Right.
anyhow. So what a great concession and what a great advertising
Yes.
opportunity to co-brand with you guys, you know, with a particular builder saying we're able to offer these, you know, this particular neighborhood. We've done several flyers for a lot of builders that are, you know, certain grouping of houses with you on there and us and, you know,
Is the
great.
best use of it, would you say, for maybe homes that are listed at top dollar but aren't selling there, so it's likely to appraise at this value, but maybe they can't get that value, is that where this is best used?
Well, it's really, if you just have like I said, a unique house or unique listing that's just taking a little bit longer, you know, it just makes it more appealing. It's just that extra little plug
You're
that you
trying to
can
get-
do.
You're
All
trying,
Yeah, all the normal guidelines are gonna apply. Yeah. Like you said, if it's listed, but it might not appraise, you're still gonna have to follow that appraised value, purchase price, whichever is the lesser of the two.
Right.
So there have to
Right.
be that, either they pay the difference or the seller comes down.
and this
Yeah.
could be
All
for
those
any
things are
house.
still
If you're
Oh,
wanting
yeah.
an attractive, I mean, you know, something to advertise with that is attractive and will appeal, you know, to buyers.
Can't even hire to understand.
That's the thing.
That's what we're there for.
And that's where we come in.
That's what we're there for. You
Yes.
won't have to bother with that at all, but you'll have something in writing to be able to look and
Yes.
see.
But you can five, but it would be different then.
Right, 3% if it's 5% down, the maximum is 3%.
3%.
So that's the key, is how much. the
How
buyer-
much the buyer.
Right, how much you're gonna put down?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the key.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but one of
You're
the
wrong.
advantages, one of the advantages, I think, correct me if I'm wrong with this, is sometimes it helps the buyer maybe get in a house that they otherwise might not be able to because their payments are lower that first year, second year.
We're still, yeah, we're still gonna qualify them on the higher payment, but you know, you got a lot of buyers out there and we always talk to them, you know,
I mean,
this is what you're qualified for, but what is your budget?
yeah, once you touch it, that's what.
At the end of the day, what kind of payment do you want? What's comfortable? Cause that's what it's all about, you know.
And you may have, you know, a buyer that's in the medical field or that has a new job and, you know, they're gonna be making more later or, you know, so this is very attractive to someone going, you know, into a, you know, a medical field or a new job where they know they're gonna have promotions later, but they want their payment to be $700 less a month the first year. That's a big help, especially for
Just
first-time home buyers.
Right. Stabilize and they can.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Could they do it again? They couldn't do the 2 months. It would be silly to pay
No,
it themselves.
because then it's a refinance.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then don't forget about the recast. We talk about that a lot because it's such a great program. You don't have to make a contingency offer on a buy. So,
Yep. Think stronger offers without the
Yeah.
need for contingency.
That's what they're doing.
Yes.
We love the recast. And the
Yeah.
reason we're able to offer that is because we service our own loans. Not
Yes,
every
It's
lender,
amazing.
you know, lenders that sell their mortgages aren't able to offer that. So we love it and we use it all the time. Really can help someone get off the fence about buying when they know that they qualify for both mortgage payments. They want to go ahead and purchase and use that money when they sell their house to pay the balance down and lower the payments. It really helps give, you know, them that security to move forward. And let's go over rates. Rates are great. I mean, we're saying 6s.
Yeah.
6.99 for a 30-year fixed rate, 15-year is 6.5. FHA, VA, USDA is around 6.5. So interest rates are really great. I've got a little chart on here, renting versus buying, which we all kind of know the main, you know, benefits of that. But here's a good thing to kind of go over and think about. We get asked all the time, you know, is it a good time to buy? Should we wait till the rates go down? It's always a good time to buy. So
Yeah.
here's it's always, there's never a bad time to buy,
No.
period, exactly. So here's a neat little thing, you know, if you have anyone saying that to you and asking you, in 1971, the interest rate for mortgages was 7.33. If you waited for interest rates to go down, you would have not purchased until 1993. So that would have been 22 years waiting for the rates to go down. Meanwhile, the value of real estate quadrupled.
Yeah.
So, just keep in mind, marry the house, date the rate. Don't worry about the rate right now. We can refinance
it.
you. The big thing is, buy real estate, and then wait. Don't wait now, wait after you buy real estate and have that real estate wealth. Any questions, comments? Yes.
That first date that you said.
71, I think, the first day. Yeah, 71.
Will this be
Yeah.
emailed out, or I can email it out to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep in mind, we can co-brand
Yeah.
any of these flyers. We have a huge library of flyers that we can co-brand with you guys to use. You can use it on social media, you can use it, in your buyer packets or, email. We have, in all different types of forms. So we appreciate you guys so much. Remember, there's cake back there too.
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions? Any mortgage, anything that we can do to help you guys?
One more question, what are you hearing about rate decreases? Are you still hearing there could be opportunities here like they were in September?
We are. We're hearing that, of course, a lot of times the federal funds rate does not directly impact mortgage interest rates. Just like last time, it did not really affect them the way we thought that it possibly could. So that's still kind of a toss up, but we still are hearing that, it may not be this year. Previously we were hearing this calendar year that rates would be down. We're hearing no, that within the next year, 12 months, supposedly, that they would be back down in the low fives, but yeah.
I think that is my last question. Just, what are you guys as lenders hearing from the community? I'm just curious. Like, just with respect to buying and being prepared and like, are people not able to qualify? Like, what are you hearing in your business?
Well, surprisingly, we're not hearing as much on rate, I think people have gotten sort of used to the sixes. And, it was up in the sevens, it was inching up there for a while. So, thank you. So I think, being able to put a 6 in front of something, makes, they were artificially low for so long, but I think that we don't get as much pushback as,
Right.
as we used to.
Yeah.
It's like it's taken a year for people to realize rates
Yeah,
are not
right.
gonna go back down.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe that.
So they're like, we're gonna
Okay.
regroup our budget.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and look.
Let's just go ahead and buy a house now.
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause
It may
everybody's
not be
talking about
what, our dream home, but let's get in a house.
And we use, again, the recast all the time.
Yes.
$10,000 is about a $60 difference in payment. So, if someone gets a bonus or someone gets paid more, they can, use that to pay down their principal balance and we can reduce that payment. We appreciate, yeah.
So are you guys also seeing the appraisals coming in? I'm left with getting their mindset that when they sold their house at a year ago, they could sell it today. And are y'all seeing it, and because they're persistent in that, are y'all seeing any of the appraisals coming in more so than normal, lower than what? So
I haven't personally.
I haven't on the ones that I had.
Me
I
either.
had a,
I've had actually increase.
Yeah.
Over.
I had one that
Yeah.
went 30,000 over list price that we knew, obviously, it was
That's
gonna,
that's something, isn't it?
I
But
did-
yeah,
I
they've
was-
been over.
yeah. So that was the only one that was a little upside down. But yeah, the rest of them have been pretty,
Yeah.
pretty
I-
steady so far.
I had one come in yesterday. She bought it for $250, it appraised for $275. So she was happy about that.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your
I know.
partnership so
Thank you
much.
guys so
Call us,
much.
text us, email us anytime. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.